Hello and welcome to Jim Lab Bab's Stoplight Music Theory. Is rap real music? I don't know if I can do as good a job as 12tone did in his video, Is Rap Music? But maybe I can offer additional perspectives, thoughts, etc. To summarize, objectively, hip-hop, rap is music. It's not even really up for debate, at least from an objective standpoint. Subjectively, you can say, I don't like it. A more borderline question would be, is slam poetry music? Similar question would be, is indefinite pitched percussion music? When somebody plays the snare drum or the gong, cymbals or claves or the wood block, it doesn't have identifiable definite pitch. The difference between an indefinitely pitched percussion instrument and speech is speech has a singular recognizable pitch. The difference is between that and singing is speech, the pitch is always fluctuating, where singing is more, you focus on one and then jump up and down. But all speech has pitch, as evidenced by auto-tune the news and songify this. They're just taking the curves of the pitches of human speech and sort of flattening them. When you hear a spoken rhythmic line in hip-hop, it's a melody. Can't really say it's not a melody. It is a single line, but it's not fixed. It means it's the same every time. It's kind of like a jazz solo. You're given a framework, the words, but the execution of it won't be the same every time you go through it. But I have a feeling that when a rapper goes through it, probably the more times they perform it, if you actually analyze the pitch, that it would be pretty consistent with itself. The other issue that I've heard is that hip-hop is not music because rap is not singing and singing is not a melody. Let's just pretend that's true. That means there are Bach preludes that are not music because they don't have a melody. There are country songs that aren't music because they don't have a melody. It's spoken. A Boy Named Sue by Shel Silverstein / Johnny Cash is, about 95% rhythmically spoken, and then maybe the end of a phrase will actually settle on a pitch. The problem is when you try to disqualify something as music, you will always disqualify other things you think are music. This is another thing. It is not objectively inferior or superior in any way, because again, if you do any reasoning behind that, you're going to eliminate a lot of music. Now, subjectively, we're changing subjects here. Subjectively, music is something you experience, that you have a connection to. If you personally do not have a connection to something, your brain can reject it outright as music. I suppose you can say, to me, it is not music. But what it really means is, I personally don't like it. I despise the taste of onions. Like, it tastes so bad to me. If I taste it, I spit it out almost as a gag reflex, especially that raw onion flavor that I cannot eat. However, I still acknowledge that onion is a food. But there's this tendency that we human beings have that the way I experience something is the way everyone experiences something. It's very easy to say something like, I don't like rap, I don't like hip-hop, I don't understand it, therefore it must not be music. Or it doesn't fall under the categories of the music that I do like, so it must not be music. Our tendency is to assume the way we perceive things is the way everyone else perceives. When I've taught music appreciation class, I actually do get into hip-hop some, because I know there are people in there who feel about hip-hop this way. As someone who has zero connection to hip-hop culture, I try to present it as I see it from an outsider's perspective. And if possible, try to get someone, a student, if there is someone who has experience, I try to get them to explain what it means from their perspective. Understanding where it comes from is a key to understanding the music. If you've grown up in the culture of the music, then you don't really have a problem understanding it. It's like, I grew up speaking English, so of course I understand English. So I ask that if you don't like it, fine, but at least acknowledge that it is meaningful as music to other people. I always say music is organized sound that is usually unfolded over time, and it is not just the meaning of words. It usually conveys something beyond the meaning of words. It's not that clear where the line between music and speech is, to the point where you could say if you don't understand someone's speech, you can still hear it as music, because all speech is also unfolded over time, and it is controlled sound. There you have it. I hope this illuminates the perspectives of some. Objectively, hip-hop, rap, it's music. I hope I can piece this together into one coherent stoplight lecture. Actually, most of this has been in the parking lot. I am late.